The Tour de France is the biggest and most lucrative bike race in the world, so every year teams compete for the top honor of the yellow jersey, but there are plenty of other prizes as well for the teams. However, the yellow jersey does take the top prize of 500,000 euros, the runner-up 200,000 euros, and 100,000 euros goes for third place on the podium in Paris. But there are more prizes all the way down the GC as well, down to top 20. And incidentally, every rider who finishes in Paris gets an extra bonus of 1,000 euros. And each of the classification winners for green, polka dot and white get 25,000 euros, including the Super Competitivity Award that gets 20,000 and the best team gets 50,000 euros as well. But that's not it. As each stage, there are prizes up for grabs, with the top being, of course, the stage win. And with that, we also have a prize for the minor places and each of the categorized climbs along the stage as well, including the intermediate sprints, which have prizes of 1,500 euros for the winner, 1,000 euros for second, and 500 for third. The stage winner takes 11,000 euros home, with second place 5,500 and 2,800 for third place. And there's also a prize for being the most competitive rider each day of the Tour de France. So with that out of the way, let's have a look at the teams of the 2022 Tour de France and why they got the money that they did. So when we look at the bottom half of the list, the team prize breakdown here, we can see that we actually have two World Tour teams at the bottom, with Lotto Soudal and Astana both getting under 16,000. Astana, being last, did however manage to get Alexei Lozenko to finish 9th, but with only 4 top 10s are cursed to be bottom, while Lotto Soudal didn't fire on all cylinders, as Caleb Ewan didn't have a great Tour de France and a leave with no stage wins. Equally, B&B Hotels, Movistar and Total Energies leave the Tour de France without any stage wins, but also without any GC results of note. But they were very active in the breakaways, and Total Energies almost took the victory on stage 5 with Edvald Bosenhagen. But AG2R Citroën was a bit different and sit fairly low, considering that they did take a stage win with Bumpjongles on stage 9. But despite that, they didn't have many top results, as Ben O'Connor left the race. Team DSM came close to winning stages twice, and Romain Bardet was their top card in 7th place in GC. But that wasn't a great result for the team prize, as they only got 32,350 euros. Above them, we have Bahrain Victorious, who left this Tour de France not victorious and had a dramatic decline in their team prize winning purse since 2021, where they had 170,310 euros. So a bit of decline for the Bahraini squad, Fred Wright being the best performer in the breaks. Cofidis had another year without a stage win, but they had a long stint in the polka dot jersey with Simon Geschke, and unfortunately he didn't finish in that beautiful polka dot jersey in Paris. Ultimately he finished in second, but still money up for grabs for that. Israel Premier Tech is our next team, managing to get 43,770 euros, and this was incidentally their best Tour de France so far performance, winning a stage first with Simon Clark, and then later on with Ugo Uhl, who also managed to finish 3rd on the stage in Saint-Etienne. And Chris Froome was also 3rd place on the Alpe d'Huez stage, and this was a good Tour de France from them. Quickstep Alpha Vinyl had a mixed Tour de France, winning both stage 1 and on stage 2 as well in Denmark, with Yves Lampaert and Fabio Jakobsen respectively. It also meant that Yves Lampaert managed to gain the yellow jersey for a bit, but it went downhill as the race entered France, and this left them with 46,430 euros. Intermarché Wanty-Groupe is the next team on our list with 50,810 euros, and Louis Meintjes managed to finish inside the top 10, and on top of that they also had plenty of top 3 results, with Taco Horn on stage 5 for instance, and Alexander Kristoff on stage 21 finishing 3rd. Next we have Arkea Samsic, who had a rather good Tour de France, with Nairo Quintana finishing 6th, who also managed to finish 2nd on the Col de Granon stage, and the team managed to scoop up 56,980 euros in prize money. We also have EF Education Easy Post with 57,000 100 euros, and they dominated the early polka dot jersey battle in Denmark with Magnus Cort Nielsen, who swept up most of the categorized climbs, and the Dane also took their only stage win, but Nielsen Paulus came close to taking a stage win, as did Alberto Bettiol. From one American team to another, Trek Segafredo is our next team, and they managed to get 57,740 euros, and this is largely due to Mads Pedersen taking the victory on stage 13 in Saint Etienne, and they were visible in many of the breakaways. Quinn Simmons very visible, and Giulio Ciccone managed to take third as well in the polka dot jersey, and Quinn Simmons also picked up a comparativity prize, so they were omnipresent when it came to breakaways. Team Bike Exchange Jayco had a decent Tour de France next, with 2 stage wins from Dylan Groenewegen and Michael Matthews. Matthews also came close to stage wins on other occasions, including in Longwy, but these victories and other escapades add up to 63,170 euros and finish ultimately 7th on the team prize breakdown. Next we have Alpecin-Deceuninck, the highest placed pro-continental team who left the Tour de France on a high, as Jasper Philipsen won the final stage on the Champs-Élysées, and this was his second stage win on the Tour de France. With this victory in the Champs-Élysées, it also meant that he moved back up into second place in the green jersey classification, getting extra prize money on top of this. But the total of Alpecin-Deceuninck was 68,630 euros. Bora Hansgrohe are next with 95,440 euros, and were a very aggressive team, very omnipresent, and the German outfit managed to get Blasov into 5th place overall, plus 16 top 10s. However, there were no stage wins, but it was a very respectable campaign. Next we have the highest placed French team, Groupama FDJ, who had a very successful Tour de France despite not taking a stage win, but David Gaudu managed to finish 4th, Valentin Matoise in 11th, plus a second place in the team classification, which moved them up into 4th place here with 143,860 euros in total. Now we come into our final 3 teams of this list, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But in 3rd place we have Ineos Grenadiers, who had a solid Tour de France with Geraint Thomas in 3rd place and Adam Yates finishing in top 10 as well. This meant that they won the team classification outright. On top of this, they also managed to get Tom Pidcock to win the Alpe d'Huez stage, giving them a grand total of 240,610 euros in total. A bit of a decline from their dominant era, but a sizable total nonetheless. UAE Team Emirates were the highest placed team from last year with a team prize of 619,580 euros. However, this year it has gone down to 322,960 euros. Most of this, of course, due to Tadej Pogacar's exploits, 3 stage wins, stint in the yellow jersey, finishing second overall, and also winning the white jersey yet again, but not getting the full hat-trick this time. Now we come into number 1, and there's no surprise who it is. It is Team Jumbo-Visma, who had an almost perfect Tour de France this year, winning the yellow jersey, green jersey, polka dot jersey, and super competitivity, all in the Paris presentations. And we also know that this is the first time since 1997 that a team has won both green and yellow, but they also added the polka dot jersey, which was a nice touch. They finished 3rd on the team classification and picked up 6 stage wins from Wout van Aert, Christophe Laporte, and Jonas Vingegaard. On top of this, they were 2nd 7 times, 3rd 3 times, and this all added up to an amazing team purse of 779,750 euros, and this also equates to 35% of the total purse given out by the Tour de France organizers. So absolutely remarkable from this team. So that's basically it for this video. Make sure to comment down below what you thought of these prizes. Is it enough in cycling? It doesn't seem like enough when you compare it to other sports for the hardest or the most prestigious event in the sport. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and thank you for stopping by. Have a nice day.